especially for the Tabgol Park, we are trying to focus on. Actually, that's the place where the first March 1st independence movement occurred in 1919. But many people aren't really aware about that. The project we're trying to implement is a civic docent program that goes around in Tabgol Park. So what we're trying to do is actually rethink some of these problems and then implement such docent programs so that we can make policy where even the teachers learn from history. The time zone among the Ireland and the Korea kind of collapsed in terms of the colonial time and the independence. But I think it's not much as Irish people come in Korea care more about the independence history. And I see how you have a heritage week in here. Do you think those kind of memorial events or tries from the government help people to?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot. It's a really good question. Yeah, I think there is a lot of latent, natural interest. And I think the government and local government, like city government, are really good at tapping into it. About a quarter of my work, the customers, the guests, are not paying directly. They're getting. I get paid by a festival, like a history festival or a literary festival or a theatre festival, something like that. And then I provide tours free. Like today, I did half price because it was only €10.
You're reading that.
You know, this is Heritage Week, but I love the idea of having an in-person docent. I'd actually love that.
Actually,
Now, if you say tell us, go ahead.
Create more occasion for the diverse generation, including especially the young generation. And we thought of making kids and students, people to come, then their parents to come together. And we are trying to attract the family.
Police station after you came back from World War I. As soon as you seen someone in the uniform, back in the days, throwing grenades, punching people. If someone came along and shoved him and got past the entrance, then he'd roll off like nothing had ever happened.
You are having very famous guide tour program as well as the book of trail tours.
Yeah.
So the project we're trying to implement is a civic docent program that goes around in Tabgol Park.
Okay.
So we wanted to get some advice for the docent program. What kind of training or preparation do guys go through before leading tours?
They do a lot of scripting, so they do a lot of research around the scripts, so they have to go read all the scripts, learn all the stories, know them off by heart really. And then what they do is they shadow, we call it shadow.
Shadow.
So they shadow the tour groups. So they'll go and they join a tour group, and they might do that for a week or so. So they'll shadow a tour group for a week. And then what they have to do is they have to go and guide a tour of the supervisor or manager. And some of our alumni, after they've retired, they go and they do that course. So they found that the people that are retired but they want to do something enjoyable, they go and they do that, get that accreditation. So
we are also planning to interview those people when we back to Korea.
Okay.
And
yeah,
also
great.
that is such fantastic because actually Tabgol Park, the reason why we are trying to focus on that part is because even though it has such huge historical impact, it's perceived negatively because all the elderly people just reside there, smoke, drink all day. So what we are trying to do is utilize those elderly people as docents. Not only for elderly, it's open to citizens, but mainly focusing on those elderly people because they just live in that park literally all day, so they know.
And they have, absolutely, and they have so much knowledge to bring to it.
And every guide gets the script, and any new guide that's starting, they start off by following that script. But then everybody has their own personal stories. And everybody has a different way of telling a story. Through actions, through accent, through the words that they use. So you have to allow for that flexibility. And this is what makes it enjoyable, because of all the guides, anywhere I work, every guide tells a different story, the same story in a different way. And it's important that you allow that flexibility, because otherwise it becomes robotic. There are some places that I know where you have a script and you are not allowed to deviate from that script. You have to follow that script. So that means the guide, they might do the tour, say, 3 times a day. They have to use the exact same wording. One, that is not good for the mental health of the guide, right? Number one. Secondly, the story and your accent and your stories, they're more relevant to people. And also, I work in the Tenement Museum in Henrietta Street. We've 14 or 15 guides there. We get lots of repeat visitors, right? Because they've heard one guy tell a story, then they want to hear the other guy tell a story. So you get that. So you have to allow that flexibility. So you have a core script, and once the guide can master the core script, they can deal with anything. People ask questions along the way, and you have to be flexible with that. You know, as you go through, you have to give people the time. So that's it. So even though it's down as an hour, the reality is it's going to take at least an hour and a half. And that's to allow for people to tell their own stories, give their own bit of interpretation, to ask you questions, to make comment. And that's always important for people. So you have your script. So the script is important to get the guide started, but then you allow the flexibility. The script is important for giving confidence. Because once you've got the script and you start with the script, that gives you a certain amount of confidence that when you go down there, you've got this skeleton, a backbone, right? So that's also always very important when you're doing that.